like to think of the Center for Urban Education as innovative and as being particularly in a variety of ways. Even the course structure, the students take one class at a time for 5 weeks. So the whole program, the whole way that the program is organized is very different from your traditional university program. Students graduate from this program with exactly the same degree as they would do from our Greeley campus, but it's been organized and packaged in a completely different way. So, you know, our on-campus students are taking 15 credits and they're taking 5 classes or so a semester, all simultaneously. Here, they're taking classes sequentially. So it's more of a block schedule. And then there's the increased, the significant increase in the amount of field experience that they get here. One of the things I like to tell folks is that the Center for Urban Education provides our teacher candidates with a lot more field experience hours. So it's a different model for preparing teachers. Well, the other piece too that I think distinguishes the Center for Urban Education is the individual mentoring that the teacher candidates get. The advising is more in-depth and more sort of more ongoing in the schools, and it's partly because they have 3,000 hours in the school, so the advising situation is different. So that's another defining characteristic of the program. Anybody who wants to be an elementary special ed or early childhood teacher could and should look at the Center for Urban Education. I think if you're thinking that you're more focused on urban teaching, certainly that's one reason, one sort of philosophic reason. I want to be well prepared to work in an urban setting with a very specific targeted focus on teaching in an urban setting. That would be one critical reason to look. A very practical reason to think about the Center for Urban Education is where to get your teaching license is if you don't want to move to to Greeley, to a traditional campus, if you are sort of place bound given your current life situation. Well, in preparing teachers generally, if you think of that 10,000 hours to become an expert, what we do here is qualitatively different to what is done generally around the country in university or any teacher preparation program. So when you think about being a teacher and what it needs to become a good, proficient teacher, you have training programs that give teachers, that put teachers in an urban classroom after 5 or 6 weeks of a boot camp. So 5 times 40, that's about it, 200 hours. Up in Colorado, you're required to have, in university-based programs, you're required to have at least 800 hours. But here, we're over 3,000. So the in-the-class field experience is really critical. And to me, as an industrial psychologist, I think that's really important, that and we're moving our programs in Greeley in that direction to get our candidates out to the schools sooner and longer. So that they have much more interaction with what's going on in the schools and much more experience with what's going on in the schools. So I think that's a really critical defining feature of what we do here that makes the Center for Urban Education different nationally from how teachers are prepared.